well, let's get into the second part of 29th day. So today, in this video, we are going to talk a little bit on masculinity. How actually, what are the things behind masculinity? What happens if we cross the limits and the limited restriction of masculinity. Everybody comes to treat you as just a normal person. When you cross the limitations or a restriction, you goes against these things. And everybody has zero respect for you, and you will feel and you will always seen in this view or from other sides and even in your own eyes. So you have to set boundaries as like how you have to, because you have, if you want to save masculinity, then you mustn't have to talk with people all the time. You have to set boundaries, and you must have to go all the time with those people. You mustn't have to, you don't need to say even a little bit to the people who are worthless and reckless. And these are even having a neglecting personality, but they are even assuming and considering themselves as like how they are really grateful, and they great. This is really worthless and useless things that I ever seen in my life. People are how they want to criticize other harmfully, they are still they are doing, but we have no any concern on their this activities or misbehave. We are just the separate part of our own journey. We have to set boundaries firstly, and then we have to focus on our career and our aim, and that way everything come to be saved automatically. So if something is neutralizing your journey, your path where you are actually working any kind of field or something like that, and in that way you must have to be immersed in that course and that activities until you are not going to immersing in that field. So in that case, at that time you won't become that person or anything like that, whatever you would like to achieve in the past time, and you won't be able to get that thing in a return, because you don't what you don't have the abilities. And what I'm talking here about, nothing. And because you are feeling like you are losing all the characteristics and the features, of a masculine person. So you have to save it for your progress, for your career, to be a dedicated and what diligent person. Yeah, you must have to be concentrated only on your chasing dreams, and that way everything you can find how really luminous and exciting around you, and you don't need to feel really tedious, or you won't even assume everything, even things are around you, and you are just between these kinds of things, but you just assume these things like really stunning, dazzling, but you won't say never like it's hideous or something like that. Firstly, I want to say one thing again, that you don't have to intimidate anyone. Don't compel anyone. If somebody wanna actually get in that work, or he is interested in that and fascinated to have that kind of, to get engage that kind of activities, and he will have a lot of experience. Okay, even he hasn't got at any experience, he is unexperienced person. Even in that case, will support him, will aid him in these kinds of, you might have actually heard these kinds of what suggestion advices from the people, from the really crawl and reckless person. They actually used to say these things. So if anybody is actually suggesting you and advising you in this way, then learn to be the, you must in that way you must have to neglect and learn to be anticipating person. Anticipate, you must have to, and you mustn't have to anticipate anything. And if you are able to not to, if you mustn't have to accept anything from, even a little bit thing from other people. I know I have a lot of experience through my life, through the experience I have got in my life. So people come to show you some dreams, They will say, I will never leave you. I'm always here with you, and I will what I'm not able to say that sentence or even just a word here, but I don't have to that repeat it again. Let's go move forward. That's we mustn't have to talk here personal things or something like that. We are just here to what say experience among the viewers, among the colleges and companion like me. And the respect is from my side towards you is really high. And you can't even think about that. And it has to be towards each and every person. So if somebody is really how uh, gorgeous, we are not talking about the people who are gorgeous and are really the beauty they has, and they are really beautiful. We're not talking here in that way. We're just talking about the people who are generous, benevolent. If somebody and they did what in their behavior is really how appreciating in that way, you have to they deserve to be respected in the same way that they are actually respecting us. So learn to respect, learn to what hear someone's opinions, view, perspectives, perception when they are talking on behalf of something really precious, that can be capricious, or you might not, you can't able to predict what's going on, you know any kind of thing in any, even in any kind of institutions or organization, what's happening in there, in that situation in there, what's going on there. We don't know anything. Or if you want to become familiar with these kinds of things, then you must have to be learn to be familiar. Here we're not even talking through nepotism, or on nepotism or anything like that. We are just focused on our full concentration only on what discipline, on our chasing goals. So that's our vision and that's our journey. And we are not here to stay as a how really indolent person. We are not we don't want to chase the people who are destitute, who is moving ahead, and who is just staying as a the same state, or something like that, with a what the destitute mentality, who has no knowledge and who is not even taking a single step ahead. Then how can we have to, we mustn't have to chase these kind of people, and we mustn't have to follow this. If you actually want to become a really how a person having a lot of knowledge and really creative and intelligent, and how extremely uh, excellent in that way, you must have to the fall to the people who are actually already ahead, ahead of you. And that if you look behind, who are actually thinking about you, and they are actually what isolated at home, and they are not even doing anything, they're just expecting a lot of things from you, then you must have to have these people, because they are not doing anything in their life, and they're actually afraid of doing struggling and sacrificing, you know and but they are not doing anything in their life. Then how can you help those people? Even they has to learn to sacrifice, to struggle. They must have to learn how is the actual life. They must have knowledge and experience about this life. If they can't experience anything from this life, then it is worthless to become a man. Or we're not talking here on this video like woman, and I'm not here this separating the woman and man here. uh, Both are really respectful, and we must have to respect the both of them, and both are really crucial and important and at these both of them are really literally how precious components and elements of the society. They are really deserves to get be like any kind of person, if they are actually hardworking, and they are actually struggling on their work, and they actually want to ameliorate the journey, the any kind of tasks, or activities. In that way, we are with you. I want to say that I'm not here to promise with someone, or you know so I don't like to uh promise with someone, because one day all the promises comes to a word sorry or anything like that. So it is the life, it is personal experience. It's my personal experience. Sometimes people comes to ghost you in that way you must have to be very careful, and we have to go